Hello everybody, welcome to, well, the final Sunday visit in these particular gardens. Very soon we are going to be hitting the road and taking a few of these things with us, but a lot of it I'm going to have to leave behind, so I thought I should give you guys an opportunity to see what's left, really. So, a few things to do today. Might as well get started. Quick look at what's left of the gnome garden. Got that volunteer tomato has done exceptionally well, as always. We've got seeds from some of these, but just look at those beautiful little clusters of tomatoes. Fantastic every time. And down here we've got some strawberries that have taken up. We've got some lemon balm for the next people. Moving over by Carl and Annie, we've got, what do we got here? A couple carrots, there's 2 elderberries. Gonna have to remember to pack these gnomes up in the next couple of days. But moving on, we've got that mini bell pepper. Those things are amazing. We had a little fire going last night, roasted these over it. Quite tasty, quite tasty. There's that beet that's been allowed to go to seed. This thing's crazy. I don't think these are going to dry in time, so I might as well just pull that. This is the last indigo rose tomato plant growing this year. Just so loaded with fruit. I think we're going to save these for pretty much the last day. And then cut them so we got something to nibble while we drive, you know. Still got 2 of those St. Thomas Bane peppers going here. That one in the back corner is doing so well. This one here that kind of flopped over is turning into quite the little ground cover pepper. Definitely time to bring the scissors out and harvest some of these. It's not scheduled for today's harvest though. Not much going on with the 2x4 collection anymore. Just basically harvesting and composting as we go. These lemon yellows are still putting out just massive amounts of fruit though. Very interesting sort of funky smell when they dry. I like them better in the salts than just as dried peppers, but what an amazingly productive plant. The sage that I thought was dead after all of this time has earned its position in the permaculture stuff. It'll be coming along with us for sure. And if you look in amongst all of these weeds, the asparagus is somehow still alive in that bucket. So I'll have to do a quick weeding of that. There's no point in taking those with us, but definitely want to bring the asparagus. Huh. Not bad considering it shouldn't have lived in the first place. Good job, Gus. It's that wicking tote that I did with the grape twigs at the bottom of it. I'm going to call this a success. That sunflower that I chopped down got huge. These peppers, even though they were shadowed by other plants almost their entire lives, still managed to produce fruit. Late season tomato plant they got put in there did quite well, really. So I'm going to call that a success. An unusual build style, but a success all the same. There's that tote of the 24 pepper plants. Screaming deal on those and had nowhere else to put them, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Gonna end up harvesting those in a little bit. Son decided he didn't want to start his indoor garden with those. Can't say as I blame him, there's a lot of weight to that. This fruit is looking more and more like a lemon cucumber. Cut this open today. Find out the answer to that, shall we? I'm gonna have to say, yep, that was definitely a lemon cucumber. I never even intentionally planted those. Alright, go volunteers from the compost. Here you can see those 2 chili red peppers that I had growing in a tote out front. It's too shallow for this variety of pepper, I think. So they didn't get quite as tall as maybe they should have, but very productive peppers all the same. I'm hoping to get a review of these in over the next couple of days. If not, well, I'll grow them again next year. Starting to get enough fruit setting in on this secondary habanero that I'm thinking, well, it's just in a 1-gallon pot, it won't be that hard to move. Might just bring this one along as well. Such a nice pepper, you know. Speaking of nice peppers, how's that banana pepper look? Oh, I've been just loving these this year. This is another one that we roasted over the fire last night. Just stuffed one of those hot dog forks through it and started cooking it up. Now beware of the seeds, they will get really, really hot there. But this was absolutely delicious last night. There's another banana pepper, more banana peppers. It's another one of those lemon yellows. It's doing fairly well. But that's about it for the peppers back here. Got a few peppers growing inside in the shrine room there, but some of them are doing considerably better than others, what with that move, so not quite sure how many of them are going to actually survive. You know what it is time to do is it's finally time to cut the grape off of the main plant. Do you see those beautiful, beautiful green grapes? Oh, when you can reach them, they're so juicy, so delicious, so wonderful. But they are way up there. See, now that's the kind of grapevine I was hoping to get. But if you follow the one I actually chose down, we see these. Now these are amazing for raisins and wine and jellies, but these are not the grapes that I wanted to be popping into my mouth fresh off the vine. However, here we have the bucket. I've got no way to check and see if it's got roots on it other than pulling it up. I don't really want to be that aggressive to it. But we've got fruit forming on the vine that's come off of this, and I've pruned it, I think, twice so far. So I'm hoping that has encouraged some sort of root growth. And now it's time to cut the cord, isn't it? Just hoping for the best. Oh my. Still have a little bit left to clean up here in the hand-powered or no-power aquaponics. No fish at all in there anymore, but well, it's coming along, coming along. I just don't want to kill the plants. Made some progress cleaning out the swirl filter. Was that ever a nasty experience? But when I put the system back together, I'll have the opportunity to put in that drain at the bottom and the vacuum, like SSL Family Dad showed us. Excellent, excellent thing. I hope you've checked out that video by now. All is as usual. You can see the garden is a typical mess, and there's a plane overhead. Not gonna miss those. I'll have trains to replace them. I think, but I'm not yet certain, that my final decision for aquaponic plants is I am gonna cut things pretty short and basically just bag them up, put them in a lidded bucket with some water, and I think we can probably all say it along with me at this point, hope for the best. But that should give me a little something to start sucking nutrients out as soon as I set this back up, which will be basically as soon as we can plug into the house. A lot of pruning still to be done there. This Malabar is going to have to go, unfortunately, but I have learned lately that my goldfish, given enough time, will nibble away on Malabar. That was a full leaf not that long ago. So, we're still not thrilled with the overcrowding. Water's looking a little murky without that swirl filter settlement tank. It's amazing the difference that does make. Oh, there's the other part of the leaf, but clearly still been nibbled on. Yeah. Can't wait to get these guys into a nice big tank. They've earned it. Especially after the drive ahead. Even more so, they will have earned it. So here is a closer look at that tote full of peppers. They certainly filled up what space they had. It'll be quite interesting to see what all we've got in here to harvest. I see a Scotch Bonnet in there. I see a habanero or two in there. See some, one of those Tabascos there. Might even be some red cayennes in there. But I'm just going to pull these out plant by plant and harvest onto the plate. The before shot. So our first pepper plant out here is a Tabasco pepper that had started to set plenty of flowers, but it's far too late in the season. This would have been a beautiful plant if it had had enough space to grow. There's a lesson in that for everybody. Give your peppers room to grow and they will reward you for it. Our second plant here is another Tabasco, very similar situation to the last pepper. Tall, lots of fruit starting to set in now, but too little too late, guys. Good thing I didn't pay a lot for these particular starts. Our third plant, yet another Tabasco, very similar situation, except this one gave us a little bit of a reward. Finally something to put on the plate. Maybe not the biggest harvest of all my plants this year, but when you consider, you know, I paid 10 cents total for all of these plants. in real cash, it's probably my money's worth of Tabasco peppers. Next we have yet another Tabasco plant. Again, there's a little bit of fruit on there, but not much. Let me reference you guys to a Tabasco plant that had a larger container and more space to itself. This here, at about a foot by about a foot, might even be just 10 inches. And as you can see, much, much more productive. So don't be disheartened and think that Tabasco plants are not productive. It's just they need space. Next we have another Tabasco plant that clearly didn't have enough room. This didn't even start to produce fruit for us. But still, you live, you learn. Wouldn't you know it, yet another Tabasco. Now, I'm not obsessed with these plants. They just had a lot of them on clearance for, you know, like I said, little to nothing. And I had enough Canadian Tire money. I needed spend but a single dime. So I bought them. I bought them all. Another one out, and it is, of course, another Tabasco. We should be coming to the end of these soon, though. I don't think there's that many in there. I know there are other peppers in there, I swear. Huzzah, we've come to the end of the Tabasco peppers, and we've come to a definitely mislabeled pepper. Look how skinny these leaves are. And here, where is it? Here is the pepper that is forming on this plant. Just the one to judge it from. But I don't think I've ever seen a pepper plant with such slender leaves. I'm half tempted to try and plant this on just to see. But I don't really have space. Now, to me, that's a long red cayenne. Albeit a very stunted plant, but at least the pepper looks right. Well, this one claims it's a habanero. Let's hope for the best. See what we get. Not bad, nothing ripe, but did the best it definitely did the best it could to put fruit on in that situation. Nothing ripened up, but good job, habanero. Good try. Well, the next tag I pulled here claims chili red. Let's see if there's any peppers on that. Well, this specimen of the chili red got to be considerably taller than the ones in the other tote. But no ripe fruit. A couple to add to the random green chili mix, but nothing red there. Seems now we're into the Scotch Bonnets. Quite the pile of tags collecting there. Good thing it's recycling this week. So from 24 plants, this is the entire haul out of that tote. And I think this clearly proves the point that I've made before, that peppers do need to be spaced out a little bit, and they will reward you for it. So find anything, 1 gallon container, 3 gallon container, it doesn't matter. Just don't crowd these guys and you will get a decent pepper harvest. Alright, wind is picking up. Alright everybody, well I've still got a bunch of packing and stuff I need to do, so I need to wrap this up here, but I thought I would be remiss if I didn't give you all a chance to take a look on the final Sunday here in these particular gardens. So with any luck, I'll be able to give you a twilight view next Sunday, but probably not till the one after that. So I don't know what's going on as far as the days in between here and there, but there's probably going to be a few peppers and a whole lot of packing. Thanks for joining everybody, and stay tuned. Things are going to get way more interesting once we get to Manitoba. Alright, see you later everybody.